Hey everybody, Maxemillian X here. So, Pokemon Legends Z-A, that was a thing. That's a thing. So we finally got to see Pokemon Legends Z-A in its glory, and it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I like what I see. Graphical things aside, it's running on a Switch. Of course, there are going to be limitations to that, so I'm not even gonna bother with that. I like the art style. It does feel more like what we got with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, less so that we had with Pokemon Legends Arceus, and mostly because it's less stylized. It feels more contemporary. I like seeing that they're doing this thing with the wild zones, where Pokemon are roaming free in those zones and they can live their assumingly best life, of course. But with that, with Lumino City being the only place that you're going to be exploring, of course, it has to be a big place. And looking at the map that they put on the website for it, Lumino City looks like it's going to be a very big city to explore. I don't know how big it's going to be, and considering the fact that it feels like they're going for a open world aspect, at least, or open city, if you would call it that way, that is a pretty cool thing that they're going to be doing. Other than that, the starters. Yes, I am a big grass starter fan. Seeing Chikorita made my day. And of course, people really love Totodile, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people were excited to see Totodile. Unfortunately, Tepig doesn't seem to be getting that much love, which is kind of unfortunate, I think. I mean, I'm not a big fan of like Tepig myself, but you know, like two of them were from the second gen, and I'm pretty sure people were like, well, why didn't they put Cyndaquil in there? Well, that answer is easy. They already put Cyndaquil in Pokemon Legends Arceus, so you're not going to get that. You're just not going to get that mechanic. It is kind of funny that they took two starters from the same generation and then took another starter from another generation, whereas in the previous game, they each came from different generations, right? You had Rowlet from Pokemon Sun and Moon. You had, well, like I said, you had Cyndaquil from Gen 2, and then rounding it out, you had Oshawott rounding out the fourth gen. Yeah, with that. So, so with that being said, there is a lot of things that I like about seeing. First and foremost, of course, the big thing with, RPGs is the gameplay mechanic, right? And we already got a little taste of what the battle mechanic is going to be, and it's even more of an evolution than I thought it would be, and it's something that I've wanted literally for years. At this point, decades now. Nigh on decades now. We have real-time Pokemon battles happening, or at least as real-time as you can do with turn-based battling, where not just you move around the battlefield, but your Pokemon as well. You can direct your Pokemon to follow you and avoid attacks. Your attacks now have an area of effect. Well, not all of them, some of them, depending on the attack that you do, which is great because Pokemon Legends Arceus did not allow you to attack multiple Pokemon, even though multiple Pokemon could gang up on you and beat you up, or at least beat up your Pokemon, which was really frustrating and annoying, especially when you're trying to shiny hunt and then they all gang up on you and you just try to face off against one Pokemon and you have four Pokemon facing you, and it's just so gosh darn annoying when they do that. And you have no other choice to either try and fight them all off or try and weaken them one by one after another and then trying to capture them. Either way, if your Pokemon levels are not up to snuff or you're at a type disadvantage and they're all using strong and agile style to get you down, then yeah, it stops being fun. That was the only aspect of battling in Pokemon Legends Arceus that I did not enjoy. The fact that you did not have attacks that attacked multiple Pokemon, despite the fact that this has been a thing in the past with the mainline Pokemon games, where if you did a dual battle and you did a wide attack, an area of effect attack, like say Surf or whatever, it'll do damage to all those that are on the field that should be affected, right? Outside of stuff like, flying Pokemon won't be affected by a ground type Pokemon, ground type attacks, to be more specific, and all that kind of stuff. As much as I love Pokemon Legends Arceus, that was the one thing that, at least in terms of battles, really, really got under my skin. That being said, seeing what they're doing in Pokemon Legends Z-A with the battles looks really cool. The fact that you have cooldowns now does lend even more into the real-time battling situation. The tactical maneuvering and swapping out Pokemon during in the heat of battle, it looks so cool. And I can't wait to try it myself. I hope there's a little bit more to it than just that. They of course only just showed what we can expect to see in terms of the general battle stuff. And they showed us, of course, Mega Evolutions making a comeback. And people are also now speculating, maybe the starters in this one will also have Mega Evolutions, because if you remember, in Pokemon Legends Arceus, the starters had Hisuian end forms. So they still were, Dartrix and Typhlosion and stuff like that, but they were Hisuian forms. My personal favorite, of course, was like that they had a more, Hisuian feel, and by that I mean a more Edo style appeal to their final evolution, which is really cool. And people are now saying with the Mega Evolutions, maybe the starters will finally get a Mega Evolution, because, Chikorita and Totodile and Tepig do not have Mega Evolutions. So now they'll get them. And I'm kind of curious to see if they will do regional variants, because Kalos did not have regional variants. That was something that was introduced in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Before that, we did not have that. So now we might see some Kalos regional variants, or if they're not going to do regional variants, I'm hoping that they add more Pokemon to the pool of Mega Evolution, and that the Mega Evolution actually reflects the region. Because that's the whole point of the regional variant, right? It reflects where they live. And if the whole point of the redevelopment is to have Pokemon and humans live side by side, how does that affect the Pokemon, right? In terms of environment and stuff. If they do choose to do this, where they are going to have Kalos variants of Pokemon in there, that's going to be really cool to see. Of course, you have Furfrou with all the styles that that Pokemon can have. It looks like maybe, I don't know if they're going to have character customization. Legends had character customization, so I'm assuming that should not be an issue. Like every modern Pokemon game has had customization for a character. The only one that had the weakest game in that regard, in my opinion, was Scarlet and Violet again, which had the weakest character customization possible, which I didn't even think was possible for a Pokemon game in this day and age, but here we are. The last thing that I want to say is I've been looking forward to this game for a course, and even before that, since I played Legends Arceus, and hoping that it was actually invested in and do more of this stuff. And they are doing more of this stuff. The only thing that I'm really worried about or speculating about is that they are not communicating with the mainline Pokemon team, because I'm assuming these are two separate teams that are working on two separate projects. And I don't know if they're communicating what worked for them and what did not work for them and what they might implement in the new Pokemon game. I don't know if they're going to be implementing real-time battles in Gen 10 when that comes around. But I would like to hope that at least if the mechanic works as well as we all hope and what the promise seems to be, that they take that feedback into the next mainline game and make something very special, especially considering that next year, 2026, is the 30th anniversary of the Pokemon franchise, the mainline Pokemon franchise even. With that said, If you like this video, give it a like, give me a follow. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you get notified when a new video drops. Thank you so much for watching. I have been and always will be Maxemillian X, and I will see all of you beautiful people next time. Later.